It has gone down in sporting history as one of the most shocking and controversial events to ever take place in the world of professional wrestling. Hello everyone, my name is Anya, and in this video we're going to take a look at what happened on this day in the year 1988, the murder of Bruiser Brody. On the 16th of July 1988, professional wrestler Bruiser Brody travelled to Bay Ramon in Puerto Rico to perform a wrestling match at the Juan Ramon Lubriel Stadium. Brody, whose real name was Frank Goodish, had worked with several high-profile wrestling companies around the world since 1973. He was known for his wild and volatile wrestling style, even going so far as to swing a chain around his head as he entered the ring. He knew how to both frighten and excite audiences, and thousands of fans would attend his wrestling matches. While Bruiser Brody was known for his wild wrestling style, the man behind the character, Frank Goodish, was a very different person. Outside the wrestling industry, Frank Goodish was said to be a loving husband and a devoted father. His wife would go on to say that he never lost sight of who he truly was as a person. On the 16th of July, Brody arrived at the stadium and entered the locker room where he got talking with fellow wrestler and bodybuilder Tony Atlas. As the two men were talking, they were approached by fellow wrestler and booker Jose Gonzalez. Brody and Gonzalez never really had a strong working relationship. Gonzalez was said to not like Brody's wrestling style, and it said that they had financial disputes. Gonzalez approached Brody and asked if they could step into the shower room to potentially discuss business. Brody agreed, and the two men walked off into the shower room. Because of the layout of the locker room, nobody could really see what was happening. But then suddenly, everybody heard two loud screams from inside the shower room. Tony Atlas ran inside and saw Bruiser Brody hunched over, clutching his stomach, and Jose Gonzalez holding a knife. It was clear to everybody what had just happened. Jose Gonzalez was dragged away and an ambulance was called for Bruiser Brody. Because of the heavy traffic and large crowds outside the stadium, it took paramedics nearly an hour to reach Brody. Tony Atlas carried him out and laid him on the stretcher and accompanied him to the hospital. Unfortunately, nothing could be done to save his life. Bruiser Brody was declared dead in the early hours of the 17th of July 1988. He was 42 years of age and left behind a wife and young son. Tony Atlas would later give a statement to police as to what he saw when Brody was killed. Jose Gonzalez was arrested and charged with the murder of Bruiser Brody. At his trial, he pleaded not guilty on the grounds of self-defense. Tony Atlas and fellow wrestler Dutch Mantel were supposed to give evidence against Gonzalez at the trial. However, they never did so because their legal subpoenas arrived too late, 10 days after the trial had concluded. Because of this and the fact that the murder weapon was never recovered, Jose Gonzalez was found not guilty of the murder of Bruiser Brody on the grounds of self-defense. He walked away a free man and returned to the world of wrestling. Jose Gonzalez would continue to wrestle under his name Invader 1 until his retirement in 2015. A memorial show was later held to Bruiser Brody in Japan, where he was a highly popular wrestler. His wife and son were in attendance. The murder of Bruiser Brody has gone down as one of the most controversial events to ever take place in the world of professional wrestling. Tony Atlas has always maintained his story as to what happened the night Brody was killed, and he has always said that Jose Gonzalez was responsible for his death. Over 3 decades since his death, Bruiser Brody is still regarded as one of the most influential and legendary wrestlers to ever exist. And it is clear that the controversy surrounding his death will never ever be forgotten in the world of professional wrestling. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. My name is Anya, and we just looked at what happened on this day.